Drip line, also known as emitter line, is simply tubing with pre-installed emitters at evenly spaced intervals. It's typically available in 1/4-inch and 1/2-inch sizes, and the spacing is variable. You can get 6-inch spacing, 9-inch spacing, or 12-inch spacing. Now, that isn't to say drip line is limited to gardens or landscapes with straight rows. 1/4-inch drip line is flexible enough that it can be made into a ring that encircles a plant. What makes this good is this gets emitters to all sides of the large plant's root zone, and this encourages even growth of the roots. 1/4-inch drip line is most frequently used in beds that are shorter than 20 to 30 feet in length. If you use the closer 6-inch or 9-inch emitter spacing, you will get better wetting uniformity if you keep the drip line run lengths to 18 feet or less. To install drip line in an raised bed is easy. All we need is our 1/4-inch punch, our 1/4-inch drip line, and a 1/4-inch coupling. The process is simple. I'll punch a hole in the main line where I want to connect my drip line using my 1/4-inch punch. Insert one end of the 1/4-inch coupling into that hole and connect our 1/4-inch drip line to the other end of the coupling. I'll then run it down the row of the bed and cap it off at the end with a goof plug. 1/2-inch drip line is used for longer rows, up to even 200 feet or longer in some cases. Since most 1/2-inch drip line is pressure compensating, it's popular at vineyards with their long, undulating rows. Since 1/2-inch drip line is essentially 1/2-inch tubing, you install it the same way you would your 1/2-inch main line. That means 1/2-inch fittings, like our twist and lock fittings. You just run your main line to where you want your row of drip line to start, then just either tee, elbow, or couple it in and run your row down, staking along the way until you reach the end, where you'd cut it and cap it off with a 1/2-inch end cap. Make sure to flush your lines as the last step before you turn on the system. When choosing emitter spacing for drip line, it all comes down to how close your plants are. Use 6 to 9-inch spacing for herbs, lettuce, or compact garden beds. 12 inches is the most versatile, great for veggies and flowers. For bigger plants like shrubs and perennials, go with 18 or 24 inches. And for trees or widely spaced plants, 36 to 48-inch spacing is ideal. And just match the spacing to your plant size and layout, and you're set. If you have inconsistent spacing, you could get away with an emitter that isn't watering anything, but to be most water efficient, you could splice out specific emitters or make custom drip line. Check out the video in the top right or description below to learn how to make your own custom drip line. 1/4-inch drip line comes in black and brown, which is purely an aesthetic choice. Drip line is great because it's easy to install, it's flexible, and it's incredibly durable. Square foot gardeners often appreciate drip line, as the emitters are set to specific spacing lengths like 6 inches or 12 inches. 1/4-inch drip line also works well with gravity and low-pressure drip systems, as long as the water is clean, filtered, and a minimum of 5 psi is achieved. Another kind of drip line is thin-walled drip line, commonly known as drip tape. Drip tape is more commonly used in agricultural applications, but does have some use in garden and nursery applications. We've made an entire playlist all about drip tape that you can check out in the description or at the card in the top right. If you're struggling to choose between drip line or drip tape, remember this. 1/4-inch drip line is the most flexible and can easily be bent into various shapes, while drip tape is completely rigid and must be laid out in straight rows. Otherwise, it will kink. 1/2 inch is somewhere in the middle. It can accommodate small bends and curves, but is more rigid than 1/4-inch drip line. If this video was helpful, give us a like below. If you have any questions left, please don't hesitate to drop a line in the comments. I like to read and reply to every question you receive.